For the same DCET 2018 B series, we are going to solve problems on subject called analog communication. The question number 89, the maximum power transferred to a load of 5 ohm for a Thevenin's voltage of 10 volt is. The options are given below. The first one is 80 watt, the second one is 0.2 watt, the third one is 20 watt and the fourth one is 5 watt. Consider circuit. Here they are giving a Thevenin's equivalent circuit. The Thevenin's equivalent circuit is a combination of VTh and RTh, and the load resistance is connected across this Thevenin's equivalent circuit. If you apply KVL to this circuit, you can get VTh minus IL into RTh minus IL into RL is equal to 0. Then VTh is equal to IL into RTh plus IL into RL. If you take a common of IL, that is load current, then you get IL into RTh plus RL. Then the load current is given by IL is equal to VTh divided by RTh plus RL. That means the current IL, that is the load current IL which is flowing through the load resistance is given by VTh divided by RTh plus RL. But they are mentioned in a question is the maximum power transferred to the load. That means we have to calculate the how much maximum power is delivered from the source to load. So in order to find out this question, we have one theorem called maximum power transfer theorem. In this theorem we have RTh is equal to RL. That means Thevenin's resistance is equal to the load resistance. If Thevenin's resistance is equal to the load resistance, then a load current becomes a maximum. So maximum load current is given by VTh divided by 2 RL. Substitute RTh in RTh is equal to RL. Then you get 2 RL. This is the maximum load current which is flowing through the across the load resistance. Then they are mentioned is power. So power is given by the maximum power transferred to the load is given by PL max is equal to IL square into RL. Here IL square is given by VTh square divided by 4 RL square into RL. If you cancel 1 RL, then you get VTh square divided by 4 RL. If they are given in question VTh, that is Thevenin's voltage of 10 volt, and also they are given load resistance of 5 ohm. If you solve this equation, then you get 100 divided by 20. That means you get 5 watt. So the right option is fourth one, 5 watt. The next question is 90th, that is the impedance is maximum at dash resonance. The options are given below. The first one is series, the second one is parallel, and the third one is series parallel, and the fourth one is none of the above. Before solving this question, first we have to know the meaning of resonance. What is meant by resonance? The resonance, it is the condition or phenomenon which occurs in AC circuit containing the elements resistance, capacitance and inductance. The condition is when XL is equal to XC. That means when inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance, at that condition the resonance condition will occur. This can be solved by using the graph, that is the graph of impedance versus frequency for the series circuit as shown in this figure. Suppose we all know Xc is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi Fc. If we put frequency is equal to 0, that means at F is equal to 0, we are getting a capacitive reactance is infinite. At F is equal to 0, the capacitive reactance becomes infinity, that means very high. Similarly, at XL we are now 2 pi FL. Okay, if we put F is equal to 0 at XL, we get 0. That means at F is equal to 0, we are getting XC as infinity and XL as 0. So at F is equal to 0, we are getting XC is equal to infinite. So the circuit in series combination, the circuit behaves as a capacitive circuit. As the frequency goes on increasing, the capacitive reactance slowly decreases at FR, that is at some particular frequency the impedance become minimum. At that frequency the resistance, at that frequency the circuit behaves as a pure resistive circuit. If we further increases the frequency, then the circuit behaves as a inductive circuit. Okay, at F is equal to 0, the circuit behaves as a capacitive circuit. As the frequency goes on increasing, the capacitive reactance decreases slowly at FR, that means at XL is equal to 0. That means the inductive reactance and the capacitive reactance when equal, then that time the circuit behaves as a pure resistive circuit. If it goes on increasing above the resistive frequency, then the circuit behaves as a inductive circuit. Okay, this is XC. That means below the resistive frequency, the circuit behaves as a capacitive circuit. At XL is equal to XC, that means at resonant frequency the circuit behaves as pure resistive circuit. At that point the resistance value or impedance value is minimum. If it goes on increasing above the resonance frequency, the circuit behaves as a inductive circuit. Okay, for parallel circuit also we are getting the same graph as we shown in the series circuit, but we are getting in terms of the admittance. We are well known about that the admittance is reciprocal of impedance. So we are getting in terms of parallel circuit in terms of admittance, but we all know that Y is equal to, that is admittance is equal to the reciprocal of impedance. So the graph of impedance versus frequency for the parallel circuit in terms of impedance Z is shown in this figure. Okay, that means at resonant frequency, that is FR, that is here the capacitive reactance and the inductive reactance are equal. At that frequency the impedance is maximum. So from the above option, the second option is the right option. Moving to next question, the question number 112. A filter which rejects the frequencies within the specified band and passes all the frequencies outside this band is. The options are given below. The first one is low pass filter, the second one is high pass filter, and the third one is band stop filter, and the fourth one is band pass filter. Before solving this question, first we have to know the meaning of filter. A filter is a circuit which removes the unwanted part of the portions of the signal and allows a wanted portion of the signal. Okay, in ideal filter we have mainly four types, that is low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, and the band stop filter. In low pass filter, it only allows the low frequency signals up to its cutoff frequency Fc. Above than that, the frequency signals is attenuated or rejects. Okay, in high pass filter only high frequency signals can be passed. Below than that is cutoff frequency Fc, the signals can be attenuated or it rejects. Okay, in band pass filter only a specified band of frequencies, that is Fc1 and Fc2. This band of frequencies can only passes through and it stops or attenuates the other part of, that means below the FC1 and above the FC2 frequencies can be attenuated or it rejects. Okay, in bandstop filter, it rejects the specified band of frequencies, that is FC1 to FC2. Then all other frequencies, that means below the FC1 and above the FC2 frequencies are passes through the filter. From this, the correct option is third one, that is bandstop filter. This filter, what it does, it attenuates the specified band of frequencies and allows all the frequencies that is outside this band that is FC1 to FC2. The question number 151, that is an ideal filter has dash loss in its pass band. The options are given below. The first one is 0, the second one is infinite, the third one is finite, and the fourth one is none. This question can be solved by using the low pass filter, that is ideal low pass filter. Consider this is your ideal low pass filter. Okay, it is having a cutoff frequency of 1.2 kilohertz. Okay, if we are giving a signal to this ideal low pass filter, consider you are giving 3 frequency signals. Okay, the first one is 100 hertz signal you are supplying to the ideal low pass filter, and 500 hertz frequency signal you are passing to the ideal low pass filter, and the third frequency signal is that is 2 kilohertz signal. Okay, these 3 frequency signals are applied to the ideal low pass filter. The ideal low pass filter, what it does, it only allows the low frequency signal up to a cutoff frequency 1.2 kilohertz. So at the output of the ideal low pass filter, we are getting only 2 frequency signals, that is 100 hertz and the 500 hertz signal, and it rejects, this ideal low pass filter rejects the 2 kilohertz signal. Okay, so at the output we are getting 2 frequency signals, that is 100 hertz signal and another one is 500 hertz signal. At the input, whatever the amplitude is given is there, at the output also we are getting the same amplitude. That means without distortion, without loss in the pass band, we are getting at the output of the filter. So from the above option, the correct option is 0. The question number 152, the characteristic impedance of a transmission line is given by, the options are given below. The first one is Z0 is equal to square root of R plus j omega c divided by G plus j omega L, and the second option is Z0 is equal to R plus j omega L divided by G plus j omega c, and the third option is Z0 is equal to square root of R plus j omega L divided by G plus j omega c, and the fourth option is Z0 is equal to R plus j omega c divided by G plus j omega L. Before solving this question, first you have to know the meaning of transmission line. The transmission line is a line which transmits the electrical power from transmitter to the receiver. Suppose consider this is a transmitter and this is a receiver. Then electrical power is transmitted from the transmitter to receiver in the wave of voltage and current. In terms of voltage and current, they are transmitting from transmitter to receiver. Suppose if you take some part of a transmission line, then transmission line is basically a conductor. If you take some part of that transmission line, then you will get a resistance in series with the inductance, that is R, L, and capacitance which is connected in parallel with the conductance. Okay, then these two are connected in series. If you take the impedance of these two elements, then you get impedance is equal to Z is equal to R plus J omega L, and this combination, that is C, capacitance C and conductance G are connected in parallel. If you take this combination, that is admittance Y is equal to G plus J omega C. Okay, the characteristic impedance is defined as Z naught is equal to square root of Z by Y. If you substitute the Z and Y in this equation, then you get Z naught is equal to square root of R plus J omega L divided by G plus J omega C. From the following options, the third option is the right option, that is Z naught is equal to square root of R plus J omega L divided by G plus J omega C.
The question number 152, the ionospheric propagation is also termed as, the options are given below. The first one is ground wave propagation, the second one is space wave propagation, the third one is surface wave propagation, and the fourth one is sky wave propagation. The ground wave propagation is mainly used for low frequency signals. In ground wave propagation, if you transmit the electromagnetic signal from transmitting antenna, these electromagnetic signals transmitted along the surface of the earth and reaches the receiving antenna. In space wave propagation, here also we have transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna. In addition to this, we have one more device called a satellite. In that we have transmit the electromagnetic signals from transmitting antenna. This electromagnetic signal reaches the satellite. From that satellite, the electromagnetic signal is reflected towards the receiving antenna. This space wave propagation is mainly used for high frequency signals. Coming to third one, that is surface wave propagation. The surface wave propagation and the ground wave propagation both are same. And the fourth one is sky wave propagation. The sky wave propagation happens in the ionosphere. That means consider Earth. On Earth we have a transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna. Okay, this is a ionosphere. In ionosphere we have a large number of positive ions and the negative ions. This is your ionosphere. These ions are created because when the sun rays hits the air molecules which is present in the ionosphere, then these air molecules releases the outermost electrons and becomes positive ions and the negative ions. Okay, so in ionosphere we have large number of positive ions and the negative ions. When you transmit the electromagnetic signal towards the ionosphere, because of a large number of positive ions and the negative ions present in the ionosphere, the electromagnetic signal is reflected towards the receiving antenna. Because of the total internal reflection takes place in the ionosphere. The total internal reflection takes place when the incident ray is greater than the critical angle. So sky wave propagation is also termed as the ionospheric propagation because sky wave propagation happens in ionosphere. So from the above option, the correct option is sky wave propagation.
The question number 154, the modulation index of a amplitude modulation is given by, the options are given below. The first one is Vm by Vc and the second option is Vmax minus V minimum divided by Vmax plus V minimum. The third option is both option number 1 and option number 2, and the fourth one is none. The modulation index of a amplitude modulation is given by, it is the ratio of amplitude of a modulating signal to the amplitude of the carrier signal, and this can be also rewritten as, suppose Vm is given by, it is Vmax, that is a maximum amplitude, maximum modulated wave, that is Vmax. This is Vmax minus V minimum divided by 2. If you do this, then you can get amplitude of a modulating signal. Similarly, the carrier signal can be represented from this graph or waveform, that is VC. VC is given by Vmax minus V minimum, sorry, Vmax minus Vm, that is Vmax minus Vm. If you substitute the equation of Vm in Vc, you get Vc is equal to Vmax minus Vm is given by Vmax minus V minimum divided by 2. That means Vc is equal to 2 Vmax minus Vmax plus V minimum divided by 2. Then Vc is given by Vc is equal to 2 Vmax minus Vmax, that is Vmax plus V minimum divided by 2. Then modulation index, that is M or mu, is given by Vm by Vc. We know that Vm is given by Vmax minus V minimum divided by 2, and Vc is given by Vmax plus V minimum divided by 2. The two are cancel out. The remaining equation is Vmax minus V minimum divided by Vmax plus V minimum. So the modulation index M, it can also be represented in Vmax and V minimum form. So from the given option, the both option number 1 and 2 are correct. So the third option, both 1 and 2, is the right option.